Season 4, Video 3. In this segment, we're going to talk about planning for success. What does it mean for planning? Within a business plan, it is unfortunately often misunderstood. People don't realize what its true purpose is. It can, in fact, be misleading by sending us down the wrong path, and it is not a magic pill, a proven formula. What it is a roadmap. One of the things that I used to do when doing my consulting work, I was in San Francisco, and to demonstrate the point, I had taken a roadmap I had with me that I picked up from the AAA office showing the San Francisco area. Put it on the wall, and I asked the people this question: is this San Francisco? And they looked at it and they thought, yeah, that is. But then what I did was to go ahead and demonstrate to them that no, this is not San Francisco. It's a map. It is nothing more than a representation or some person's understanding of what they think it really looks like. It was not the actual terrain. Kind of an important concept. And plans are typically based on assumptions. When we enter into some activity, we think what it might happen, and this is where sometimes people kind of get twisted. When we start a new venture, typically we get started with little funding, and it is probably fraught with small and uncertain opportunities. Investors aren't too interested in what we have, so therefore we are needing to bootstrap. Simply, you have to kind of do it on the cheap. What I'd like you to consider is a different type of an approach to the process. What happens is we have to prepare, so we get ready. When we then have our plan in place, we pull the trigger, and then we aim. The thing that I want to bring out of this particular idea is the fact that for those of us that were trained in the military, as I was in the Marine Corps, or if you hadn't been and you'd seen the movies, you may have seen the time where someone would get up and say, ready, aim, fire. And what was that particular sequence of events about? And I don't mean whether or not they were shooting at somebody or in an execution format, but the idea was that it was a one-time event that was basically going to occur. In this scenario, what we're doing is, yeah, we get ready. We don't spend a lot of time on the aiming process. We just fire. And then we aim. But the implication of this type of a strategy would be, well, after you fired, if you took aim, why would you be aiming? What you're trying to do is then take on the perspective of, I am trying to, in my aim, I'm getting ready to fire again. And so what this does is it prepares you for this format of constant assessment. You get ready, you take action, you then see what may have happened, you then continue to aim, and you are preparing yourself to fire again. This ready, fire, aim strategy deals with research. You go out and you get prepared. You have to interact. You're basically looking for, how is this thing really going to potentially work, with real people giving you their reflections or introspection on it. You look at it. You see what's out there. You try to understand fully the implications of what you're trying to do and how you may be preparing for this venture. You try an experiment. What is there in an experiment that is different from a full-fledged operation? Typically, an experiment is smaller. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It allows you to go in and do pretty much bare bones what needs to be done just to see if you are in fact on the right track. Sometimes you fire up little additional activities. You see, in an ad hoc basis, meaning it wasn't necessarily a fully prepared, fully thought out activity. You just give it a try. Or you do face to face. That's the time when you get with another person and you get their feelings, their understanding, their reaction to what it is you're trying to do. Entrepreneurs aren't reckless. What they try to be is to take this information, these ideas, and they treat them as an unproven assumption. They go out there and then they prove the concept through these small experiments. We're going to talk about those as a proof of concept a little later. We're going to potentially think about, well, what just happened, and we're going to adjust, and we're going to adapt. So if we have all this wonderful planning in place, is it possible that excess planning can blind us to unexpected or unforeseen opportunities? And if so, why? I think it can. Because if we are so committed to the plan, or we've spent so much time in the preparation, we never get to the real action of trying to implement and test our plan in reality. And we also then sometimes, as we used to say back when I was doing some systems work, you end up with this dreaded disease known as analysis paralysis. You're just stuck. Implementation and adaptation is the key. Doing it and then potentially fine-tuning, correcting, or admitting to yourself it's time to move on and do something else. We learn by doing. That proof of concept with real customers gives us that immediate feedback and allows us to see exactly what is going on and how our customers react to it. By taking the ready, fire, aim approach to planning, we're basically inserting into the process the action component and the potential modification to it. Through the real world interactions, we are in fact getting people to tell us what they want. We are testing our hypothesis, and we are correcting anything that needs to be modified. Let's go to a discussion question now.